We have three big topics for today. Market, up or down? What do we think? I'm going to go through it, kind of give you some little bit of analysis and what I suspect is going to happen here. And then you pick the stocks as number two. I'll take your requests as always. I'll kind of go through them and give you my view on what to expect. And you can make notes and see if I'm right. Come back, let me know in the future. And then number three, we're going to discuss my number one, Stephen wrote income strategy. I like to think of it as like a place to park money and make a better return than a savings account. So I'm going to go through that number one strategy right there. Yeah, we can go through crude and we'll hit all the popular ones. So usually we hit S&P 500, NASDAQ, tech. We hit Russell, small caps, and we usually visit crude, gold, crypto, at least Bitcoin, and then we'll jump into stock requests. So let's jump out of the slideshow and into some charts. And I already know I didn't grab this chart. So let me load up my Discord real quick and grab a chart out of there. Did you know the logo's name is Clyde? All right, let's see. Go down to the free section. Jump to the newest stuff. I got lots of, this is my demo account here, so just ignore what you see. All right, grab this chart. Yeah, if you're a little pro tip, and if you're in Discord, you can click this open original button right here and make the chart full screen or full tab. So we've got this giant correction we've been in for 2 weeks. Now we've come to this point right here where some stuff all hits together right here, where this first move down, the A, and this third move down, the third move down is 1.618 times bigger than the A. So A equals 1.618 times C, comes in right here where we are. And then we also retraced 50% of the wave three, this wave three right here from 2 to 3. We retraced 50% of that today. Hit that key level. Those kind of all come together right there, make a little confluence level. The next support I would expect below this, if we're going to push lower, is going to be right here where these are lumped together. This missed weekly pivot and this monthly pivot at 4361, 4363, that 4360 area. So if we push lower overnight and then tomorrow, that's the next support level I'm going to be looking for. But right now, this is looking prime, like a prime setup for a bounce from right here. Now, the next target area is just going to be about where we had the prior high, maybe slightly higher. That's my primary expectation right now. And it doesn't even have to come up that high. It may stall out down here somewhere. Somewhere in the neighborhood of where this B was right here. It's 45.87. I kind of lean toward a 45.50, 45.60, 45.70 area. We'll go through some of the other charts and look at why that is coming up in there. But we could top out anywhere in this neighborhood. I'd draw on it if I could. I don't have a drawing tool on active right at the moment. But anywhere right in this area, we could top out and see another retrace back down in the same area. And then we'll do it again one more time. So I expect down, up, down, up, down a couple more times through the rest of April and probably into May at this point. So the next month, let's say, that's kind of what I expect to happen. A run up, a run back down, a run up, and a run back down. And that'll take us at least a month, more than likely. Now, this is the days on this chart are not an estimation of time for when this happens. So we can see this took 2 weeks. You can expect the run back up to take at least 2 more weeks. And then the next pullback could take 2 more weeks. And then, they could take well into late May for this to play all out here. And it could take longer than that. We could be well into the summer before we finally get done with this. It's going to be really frustrating to a lot of market participants is the way I think it's going to go down. I think a lot of people are going to get really frustrated trading the market. And that's what it tends to do. It tends to get both sides really frustrated and then makes makes the big move. So yeah, it's been frustrating, I'm sure, for the last 2 weeks. We were in this consolidation, through March. And let me pop out to a bigger chart here where we can talk about this. Go up to the daily chart. So we started out right at the end of the year. The first, I guess, we got 4 days into January with a little rally, and then we started this correction. We've been in this correction, and we bottomed out. The first day of the war in Ukraine was the low, and then we kind of made a pop up, and then tried to revisit the low, made a higher low, and then we've kind of just been consolidating this sideways since then. And right now, you see that blue line right there. I drew it across there as a support level. We held it today somewhat, really testing it today. So this next move up, I just don't think we're going to be able to break through this 786 on the next attempt. I think it's going to take 2 attempts before we can get through there. And that's the long and the short why I think that's going to be the resistance area. Now, ES looking a little different. We actually got below the 144 EMA on the daily, and we didn't quite bounce off the 144 EMA. So it kind of tilts the wheels, if you will, to possibly retracing lower. Now, the line in the sand right now is right here. If we break through this level, 43.20, that's the high we made right here in March. We break through that on ES, which is the S&P 500 futures. These trade almost 24/7 or 24/5, I guess it is. So if we break through there, this is watch out below. We can make a lower low, and we could easily get down to the low 4,000s. So watch that line in the sand right there, 43.20 area, as a place. If we break through that, it's not going to be very good for higher prices, at least in the near term. So 786 is sitting right up here on this chart at the 4650 basically. The SP 500, it's a little bit higher up there at 4663-ish. It says 4660, I guess. So at 4660, 4665 area is going to be the 786 on the S&P 500. So yeah, we could, if it does break below, on down here on the S&P 500 chart, we're looking at a level right here that we'd have to break below, right at 4,300. So the S&P 500 and the ES charts are a little bit different, but I do feel like if we break through that 43.20, 43.2375, it looks like if we break through that area, we can expect a return to the low. So just watch it. But right now, I think, I've got trades on that bet on this being a turning point right here where we touched right before the close and started turning up right into the close. So I have a few trades on right now looking for higher prices, at least up to this weekly pivot up here at 45.10. So, all right, hopping back over to it. Tech. Let's visit the NASDAQ real quick. We have almost retraced to the 618 where I thought we would visit down to right around 13,795-ish. Overnight, I could expect to see a little push lower maybe and bounce off of that right there. When we got this was the lowest low right here on NASDAQ, and I mentioned that we probably needed to see a 618 retrace. At least the 50% is what I said last week, and 618 would be more ideal, and drew these arrows. And look at that, we're right down almost to it today. So this could be a really good bouncing point for NASDAQ and ES. All right. because the measured bounce setup just happens to be a 618. It's just one of those things that happens over and over and over again in the market. Things turn around at the 618, and we turned around on this move down. We retraced and bounced right at the 618. And then if this is going to be bullish, we can expect it to turn around again at this 618. Now, if it's going to be bearish, it'll just push right on through and keep on going. So keep an eye on it. All right. That's the key price right now to watch. It's at 13. What I say, 13.7. Zoom it up so I can read it. 13.783-ish. It's not going to be exact. It's 13.780 area. If we get a bounce there, that can be very bullish. And how bullish everyone would want to know would be the next follow-up question, right? So if you go like this and run this 3-point tool right here, we could potentially expect our next run up to be right back out to this. Just happens to correspond, like it makes a confluence where this 1, 2 big run 3 would be 17, almost 18,000. So these charts can get really bullish really fast. Now, there's going to be some other chop and junk in here, but that's just based on this run and pullback. We could see a move out to the 18,000. That's not going to be a straight direct move. It's going to have some pullbacks and zigzags and consolidations in between there. Now, Russell, a little bit different. As I mentioned, I did come right down to its 618 today and got a green. I actually got there yesterday. I had a green day today. It actually closed green today. So it tried to run higher with the market, but then came back and retraced, but it still got a little green hammer, doji, whatever you want to call it in there. So this one is set to bounce. It's right at the line, right at the arrow. Right at the levels I pointed at, drew some arrows and said would bounce. So the resistance is going to be where this 144 EMA comes in, probably around 2100 area. If we can start getting bullish here, we start getting a couple days of positive action, look for resistance at that 2100. If we push on through there, we can quickly see 2200, 2300 on Russell. So it's a really nice place for it to bounce right there. Now, if it does fail, we'd be looking for a lower low somewhere below this 1880 area on Russell. Now, for those that don't know how to trade Russell, IWM is the ticker that goes with the Russell. This is like SPY for S&P 500. The IWM is the ETF for the Russell. So keep it on that one. If it starts breaking out above 201, 202, looks like 201, 202 area, and we can see some higher prices quickly. We're talking about this one's divide by 10, kind of like the SPY is for the S&P 500. So you could be looking at 220 or 230 could be the prices that this runs up to. That's a pretty fair gain on a $200. I mean, it's 10%, 10-15% gain. So that's where we are on that one. Now, oil still in the downtrend. We kind of made this double bottom here. Potentially could be a bounce point, but I still strongly believe that oil's on this path to come visit this area between 75 and 83. Everybody says, oh my gosh, all the geopolitical threats and blah, 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 oil should be like a bajillion, right? Like there's no good reason for it to go down. Well, we peaked out back here right at the beginning of the war, and we've been pulling back ever since. And it has a corrective pattern, and this corrective pattern points to this area where, just rewind your mind back to the beginning where I was talking about the A move and the C move. Well, at 83, the A move and the C move are the same size. And down there at 75, they're 1.272. And all the way down at 67, it becomes 1.618 times the A move. The C move is 1.618 times the A move. And let's see if I can find the tool here that labels that, just so Don't leave any confusion here. That'd be that. Oh, that was not the point where I needed to pull it down just a hair. I mean, 0 point. This would be the A move, the B move right here to bounce off the 618 again. You know, the 618 happens over and over. And then the C move would be down here, at least to the 100, if not the 1272 or the 1618. So the minimum expectation is this 83 area right here. Now, as far as how long it takes, it can take out to May or even June to work its way on down there. It's on a path right now, and it could see, like I said, it could see prices even down to the 1618 times A down here at 67. So minimum target's 83 right now. I do have a position on SCO still open, some calls, which is, if you're not familiar, SCO, it's a short, ultra short crude oil. Hadn't really been doing anything yet. I think it's either $6 or $7 calls out till June. Excuse me, looking for this potential move up to about the $10 area. Just make a few bucks and get out. And I just have a couple bucks at risk. It's not really a big position at all. So I'm just sitting there waiting to see if I'm right or not. So, all right. Launch a rocket. Oh, yeah, there you go. I'm using the free charting version of TradingView, so it pops up ads. Sorry about that. So, all right. So that's crude oil. Looking for that move down there. All righty. Gold. I don't think I mentioned this at the beginning. We did get a little pop up here today with this market pullback. I still think we're on this path to come down and revisit this uptrend of the lows. But if we can break back up through the 618 up here, I'm going to move that over just slightly to the lowest low. If we can break back up through 2,000 price on gold, and that's going to be a big resistance. We may see this bounce right up to there and then find some resistance at 2,000 and then come back down like that. So 2,000 is the key. If we break through 2,000, and I see the ads popping back up. No ads. All right. If we break through 2,000, then the next resistance becomes that high we made back in March at 2,078. If we can break through that, see some all-time new highs, extensions run out to 2,100 and 2,200 on gold. So it's where to keep an eye on. We talked about, this is one we talked about back in February. Get the right one pulled up. Barrick Mining right here. We talked about it when it was all the way down in here. And I told you I had bought $23 calls. Right now, it looks like 27 is going to be some resistance, or 28. If we just go trucking right on up through there, we could see a return to the prior high around 31. So that's how I'm playing my gold right now, is with GOLD, Barrick Mining. It's a company that mines gold. So that's what I have right now. Those calls I have are January 2023. They're out there, 9 more months or something like that. So yeah, NEM is another way to play. I don't like it as much. The chart's not as clear on the projections, but it is higher. I mean, it's actually broken out higher, and the price is much higher though. So it takes more money to play. Whereas gold, Barrick Mining, we can be in for $25 a share. It has potential to catch up since it's not broken out higher like NEM. So I just feel like the opportunity is bigger on GOLD. All right. Back to NEM. You could say megaphone, kind of. Looking at it, it's kind of like it did this higher B correction right here, and it was a big flat. And now we're breaking out higher. We did a little 1, 2, 3 type move. So Where would it be headed? Possibly, potentially. You know, it can find resistance here. It could be could run up to 92, or if it really breaks out, it could be up to 116. If gold, gold the metal starts breaking out, we could see a nice big move up in NEM. All right. Let's try prices on GOLD. I have the $23 January 23 call. GOLD, the metal, GOLD, Barrick Mining. And it's highlighted up there. I'm looking for 27 right now. I might step off of some of my position at 27 and wait for a retrace. So, all right. Let's hit Bitcoin real quick. Really quick. It's likely to come visit this trend line of the lows that it's had from January into February. Didn't make one in March, but we might make one here in April. Another touch. So that's the line in the sand to keep up with right now. Pull up the Bitcoin chart, draw a line off these lows. I've got a lot of stuff going on in this chart. A lot of stuff. Remove a few of them here. So yeah, that just happens to be where the 618 of this move up comes back in play right here. So that's what I think for Bitcoin right now. It's on a down path and it's gonna retest this low before it can, since it hadn't proven to get anywhere so far. Had great opportunity and it just crushed it the last couple of days. So kind of a bearish expectation short term. Now, if it can't hold that trend line, then we're probably heading down to the 32, at least a 32,000, if not 29,000. You can see a move down in this area right here if it breaks through that trend line of support. So that's something to watch out for on Bitcoin, and it's going to take Mara down with it. It's not going to be super awesome for Mara. It's coming right up on its trend line of the lows here today. So if Bitcoin keeps pulling back, this is not going to be pretty. So we need Bitcoin and crypto to turn around here. Now, the whole crypto space has been highly correlated with the NASDAQ. So if the NASDAQ turns around right here and starts going bullish, then crypto is probably going to go with it. So Mara is still one of my favorites for crypto right now. They have the best position as far as a whole portfolio of mining crypto in their plan. It's just my personal view on it. I do have almost $250,000 worth of shares tied up in Mara. So a little bit biased, I guess. And it's going to be a heartbreaker if it breaks this pattern and gets a lower low. It's just going to, like, the low is this blue line from all the way back here last May. We break through that low at 1850-ish area. Golly, ads. We break through that low. That's kind of like all bets are off of what happens next. So that's where we are on Mara. Hut making a lower low here, breaking through the trend line. It does have a ways to go to the May, June, I guess it's June low. It's still got a ways to go down. But again, it's highly correlated to the crypto market. So depends on where that one's going. All right, let's see. Starting to see requests all over the place. Beto is just correlated with Bitcoin. So again, this one, it's got its lows right there. If it can bounce there, bullish. I do have, I think it was 20, was it $30 calls for June on that one. I think that's right. So expecting a move up, but it doesn't necessarily have to happen. Like I said, if it starts breaking these trend lines of the lows, not looking good for crypto. Now, I do see a request for ETC, Ethereum Classic. This one, finding support at the 144 EMA daily. Exactly where I thought it would retrace to on, not on this chart, but my other, I have another trading view that I have these charted on. Came right down to it. Finding support right there around the $37, $38 area. The next move I expect to happen from here is the next extension out, probably finding resistance up here at the prior high around 60, what is that, 63, 64 from this prior high back here last November. Now, while most of crypto was making higher highs in November, Ethereum Classic was making a lower high. So that's probably going to be a significant high to move up into. I do have, I think 83 tokens for Ethereum Classic right now. So looking for that. Now, if it starts breaking this pattern here, right there. Yeah, if we get much lower than right here where we are, we start getting into 36, 35, 36 area, it's time to cut this one out. It's not looking too good for a continued move up. All right. Let's see. All right, Apple, taking a few requests here. Talked a little longer than normal, so I'll go a little extra, give you a little extra time on your 30 minutes. So Apple right here, it was positive most of the day, but then ended up with a red doji right near the end there. I was expecting Apple to come down and retest this 144 EMA on the daily. That's what this blue arrow is, that it's kind of, I've been drawing ever since it failed to hold in this resistance zone. I said, you know, whenever I drew it on here, I said, if it comes out of this box, it's probably going to come back down, retest the 144 EMA. So it does have a little room to push a little lower and get there. All right. Let's see, TRIF. No, TRIRF. It's a mouthful of ticker. So looking at that one, zoom it back out here. We don't have a huge long history, but it looks like a downtrend, and it's going to have a resistance at $3. So expect it to come up here and test what happens in that area. We'll see. Right there's the expect to come up there. If it can't make it that high, then it's going to retest this low area around 50 cents. Looks like even down to what, 30 cents. So this consolidation it did, it'll probably retest that area. All right. EUO, EFO, EUO. I was just running, right? Ultra short euro. Sky's the limit there. EFO. That one looks like it's headed down. Be a down trender. All right, SQ. I was talking about this one on Crypto Power Plays. I guess Jack Dorsey has renamed Square to Block. It'll probably take me forever to quit calling it Square, especially with the ticker SQ. But at this point, we've got a resistance right here, support resistance flip line. We got below it. So now we're finding resistance coming back up through it. If we can get back up through it, a retest of the 144 EMA on the daily, right there around 155, 160 area, somewhere in that neighborhood. If it finds resistance here, then we'll pull out, probably come back to this consolidation we did right here. And if we can't hold that orange box, then we'll probably push back down to the lows around 78. All right, OXY. Try to run through a few of these really quickly. As I was hitting resistance right there at the 60 cat, been having trouble breaking through that 60 resistance. That was the one, what was it? Come on. A 2618 level, 6031 right there. The next level up, all the way near 100. So if you can, yeah, that's the 4236. Yeah, if it can start pushing up through and break out above these highs, just draw a line across the highest highs there. It looks like it got up to 6280. If it can break through that 6280, the next move up right there up near 100. So that's was that a potential almost 50% gain? So that was looking pretty good. And a lot of these oil stocks are ripping even though oil's pulling back. So like VLO, MRO, one that looks potentially interesting to catch up is BP here. They abandoned some stuff in Russia, but they have opportunity to, if they can break out through this level right here, they have the potential to start catching up with some of those other charts. All right. Let's see, CRWD. I'm running a little behind on the chat. Looks like about 20 messages back. So CRWD is still sideways, stuck in this orange box here. I keep pulling over. They tried to break down, couldn't do it. So running back up to the top of the orange box is what I thought would happen here when it broke back in. So you've got resistance at around 300, looks like, top of this box. And this box has been the box for a year now, over a year. So resistance up there, support down here. And that's what you got right now on crowd. All right. SHIB is inflationary and looks horrible. Oh, cool. I can look at XLU real quick. Yeah, so popping up through, looks like the next resistance up is going to be right at the $80 area, $79.70, 79.60, 79, $79, $80 area on XLU. Looks like that next resistance. It is kind of arced back, so expect it to kind of do that move right there. Bounce from that 75 area up to almost 80. All right, FUTY. And that one's probably running up into resistance. Nope, right there on the 1618. Right now, if it doesn't break back above that, I would expect a return back to this 46 level. So keep an eye on that one. All right. ETH, what's the difference between ETH and ETC? Ethereum, ETH is regular Ethereum. Ethereum ATC is Ethereum Classic. It's a fork from way back in the history of Ethereum. You can Google that and look it up. They're separate coins at this point. Separate. There's a lot of things different on Ethereum Classic than there are on Ethereum. A lot of the upgrades and stuff haven't been made to Ethereum Classic, and it's just kind of running on its own. It would be a home for the miners, for the proof of work miners, if Ethereum itself actually ever does go proof of stake, which is a big risk for Ethereum to do. So, all right, what on earth is up with TLT? Going down. I had an arrow coming down to 115, and it looks like it's on the way. So when it broke this prior low, I expected it to come down here, this 115 area. That's where I expect right now. That's where the A equals C. We talked about that a couple times today. This would be the A wave down, the B wave up, bounce just shy of the 618, and run down to A equals C at 115. And if it gets the extension, we could see it all the way down to 96. So if it were to extend on down. Crazy, right? All right, AMD. Right now, lower low, it's probably going to 91. at the minimum. Zoom this up a little bit. Probably reaching out to 91 minimum and possibly 82 below that. Nose itching a little bit. AMGN. Run through as many of these as I possibly can here real quick. Try to catch up. So, got a high, but let's see. I got to get a little more history. Measure a couple things. Yeah, so A down, C down, 1272 held right there. Just like if I cleaned up the fibs, it probably hit almost exactly at the 1272. C equals A. So run this fib here. Looks like we're breaking through. This would be a conservative entry. We do need to clear this prior high right here, which is what it looks like. It ran into some resistance here from that over there. These highs right there. Yep, coming across. We get up through that 261, then we can see a run out to 300 on AMGN. So got to see it move up through there, get a daily close up there, about 300 or say 260, 250. So, you know, something up in there, something above 260, 250. Get a daily close up there. We can see a run out to 301. All right. ex-US Steel, that one's been on a tear. Right out to the 1618 resistance. If it doesn't make new highs, then I expect it to retrace back to about the $30 level. Ads popping up again. All right. NVDA. Yeah, just consolidating in that box. If it breaks lower, we could get an extension down. So watch out. It couldn't get strength to bust up through yet. So back in the box. Support at that. We just have 1, 2, 3, and this will be the fourth attempt at the low here. If it breaks through that, then we can see an extension. Now, how low can she go? Let's run a little line here. You can see it run down to 173 at the minimum. So if it breaks below those lows, watch out for 173. And it could go as low as 151, or, well, it could go as low as 126, really. Each of those will be support levels to watch out for. All right. AMC. Hold the support there at the 618 right there. That's a 618 retrace of this move up. Kind of holding in here today. We need to see some positive action. Back up through 24. If we don't get that kind of action, then it can keep pushing lower back to a lower low and extend back down in the single digits. All right. I'm going to have to wrap her up here. Sorry if I missed anybody's request. This is a free thing I do for everybody. So I'm sorry if I missed your request. Come back next week. I'll try to get you. We've been on it. This is like the 28th week we've done this in a row. So even though I'll be traveling next week, I'm going to try to do it. No promises. I may miss next week, but I'm going to try. So let me give you a little wrap up pitch here real quick at the end. So I want you to answer a simple question to me. Are you afraid of volatile markets? You afraid of the volatility? You type in the chat. Let's see a few yeses. So I'm not surprised that some people are afraid of volatility. Some people love it. And I suspect the people that they're saying no right now, they love volatility for the reasons I love volatility. So volatile markets are the bane of most buy and hold traders' existences. So But I want to challenge you to think about it a little differently. See, volatile markets can be disastrous for regular old up and down trading, buy and hold, sell, buy low, sell high. But those volatile markets can chop you up, right? But they are fertile soil for measured gain strategies. Now, because in volatile markets, you can actually sell puts and calls for more money than you can in stable markets. And that means you can potentially have stronger returns during these conditions. In fact, by selling volatility, the trades can work out in our favor regardless of the market direction. With the best of these setups, you can even guess completely wrong about the direction of the market and still have a winning trade. That's how my Knoxville trades work. I target small, consistent gains that have typically closed in just a few days. And so far, we've had a lot of success. I've closed 40 Knoxville trades with an amazing 39 wins and just one loser. Now, if you'd like to start joining me for these Knoxville trades, with the Knoxville Trade membership, you get a regular stream of these setups, as many as 1 to 3 a week. One most weeks, some special weeks when there's really cool setups, I'll put up to 3. And then I get all the updates for the Platinum membership. You unlock immediate access to the Knoxville Trade Masterclass, where I'll walk you through the strategy, how we trade, what we look for. Then once a month, you'll get a live trade call right at the last Friday of the month is when I try to do this. And all the Knoxville traders join up together. We go to the markets, we pick the trade of the week, we pick the trade of the month, and we actually try to get a fill on those trades live during the call. So you also get access to the Knoxville Trade Club Discord channels. And as I said, there's well over 100 trade alerts per year on these setups, and they have a 97.5% success track record so far. So Knoxville traders make a big commitment to themselves that they will do the work to make this system work for them. But in volatile markets like these, I cannot think of a better strategy to trade. If you're interested in claiming a spot in the Knoxville Trades membership with over 100 trade alerts a year over the next year, go to jeffreytrader.com/KTC, call 855-454-0816 to speak to a member of our team. Let me grab the info and throw it in the chat for you. Give it to everybody. Right here. jeffreytrader.com/KTC or call 855-454-0816. Give my team a shout out. So, any questions? See a couple hands up. Yeah, everybody have a happy Easter. Remember, the markets are closed Friday. No trading on Friday. So, KTC trade will be out on Thursday if we can find one. It is a short week. Got Good Friday and Easter Sunday coming up. Passover for those that celebrate that. Observe it, however you say it. Thanks, everybody. Thanks for coming out. Again, I will be traveling next week, so I'll try my best to do this free webinar. So, yeah, thanks for coming, Jim. Yeah, thanks, S&P. See you guys next week. See you, everybody.